Did you see the Oscars?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. I did not know that they were on. What happened?
I didn't watch it either,
right.
but I guess I heard Shape of Water won for Best Picture.
Yeah, of course it did. It was a great film.
There were also other movies, but I don't know. I don't know much about them.
It was good. It's a good intro. Did you watch the Oscars? No. Okay. I didn't really either. Cool. Good. Strong start.
We're killing it. Hey, and welcome to Heads Up with Jeff and Sean. I'm Jeff.
Good. Oh, sorry. The yawn was unrelated. I think the banter went great. This is a good.
As you can tell.
This is a good time to start. Yeah.
As you can tell from that signature banter, this episode's going to be jam-packed.
None of that is staying in. What, are you kidding me? We talked about the weather. We're not keeping that. This one's gonna have boom, no banter. It's just gonna go straight into hey, welcome to Heads Up.
Okay. On this podcast, we're gonna talk about a candy we ate. We're gonna talk about a trailer we watched. But first, we're gonna talk about an animal.
I don't know. Do we just talk about the trailer? I feel like we do a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
I don't know how else to put it. I was trying to be really concise, you know?
Yeah, I get it, but like, I don't know. If someone came up to me on the street and was like, stand here and watch my friend talk about this trailer with me, I'd be like, you know what? I got places to be. So I don't know. We'll think about that.
Think about it. Okay.
Well, you'll think about it. I don't do that part of the podcast. That's up to you.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw you to the wolves and then kind of move on with my life. So
It's good. It's good. It keeps me, keeps me sharp, you know?
yeah.
Or sharpens me. Since I'm already dull.
So I didn't, like I said, research an animal. Did you?
I did a little bit.
Well, now it's time to get online through our internet service provider. It'll be cool. Here we go.
All right. I think it's an animal that you already know something about, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sean, what do you know about salmon?
I like eating them. It's good fish.
You're a fan?
Yeah,
You're a fan?
I am. It's probably my favorite fish to eat.
Oh. I don't eat seafood. Can you eat fish skin? Do you eat the skin of a salmon? It's pretty thick and gross. I've cut up salmon.
I don't know. I think you can. I feel like we already talked about salmon.
We didn't. You wanted to.
You sure?
Yeah.
What fish did we talk about?
We talked about lobsters.
No.
What?
No, that's not. First of all, they're not a fish, so that doesn't at all answer my question.
They are the way I do it.
I don't know.
We definitely didn't already talk about salmon, but if we did, you'd be an expert, right?
I mean, I guess, but
Other than not knowing if you should eat the skin or not. I think a lot of fish you can. It's just cutting up salmon and it's just got the skin is so thick. I don't know that you'd maybe fry it. I don't know. Is that all you know about salmon? Is that you like it and that you do eat the skin and you're afraid to say that you do?
no. I'm looking to see. I want to make sure we haven't already talked about it. I super feel like we've already talked about it.
We haven't been doing animals that long.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good point in your favor, but why do I feel like I've known stuff about salmon and I talked about it with someone recently. You're not gonna know if it wasn't on this podcast with you. You're not gonna.
Yeah, I don't know if it's not involving me. I have no
right?
idea.
Because they're like anadromous. Is that the word?
They are anadromous.
They live in saltwater and freshwater.
Mm-hmm.
Or can survive in both, even if they don't necessarily live in both all the time.
Yep.
They're the ones that like go back to the river that they were birthed in to lay eggs again.
Yeah, and some species, all of them will die, and some, about 50%, will die. Yeah. And that gives nutrients to the river. Are we going on about it now, or are you still just huffing about that you think we've already done
this stuff is off the top of my dome. This is because I feel like I've talked about salmon really recently with someone. I know bears eat them. They'll catch them right out of the bears will just stand in the river and just catch them in their mouths.
You know a lot about salmon.
I feel like we've talked about them. That's why. It's a bunch of different species. You go on. You do your thing, though.
If you're buying Atlantic salmon in the U.S., it's all farm raised.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, to get wild salmon, you have to buy Pacific salmon.
Yeah. Aquaculture is getting huge now. Because, we've depleted the ocean by overfishing,
Yeah. So, maybe one day we'll just have farm-raised fish and there'll be no fish in the ocean.
Nope. Nope, that's not the goal of aquaculture. The goal is that we have farms where we raise fish that we eat, and then we leave everything else alone so that the sea can just kind of do its own thing, and then we can replenish our stock from there without, totally depleting the oceans.
Yeah, a salmon can lay up to 7,000 eggs. It's a lot.
Is it?
It's a lot of eggs, yeah.
How many eggs are in people? I guess women specifically.
It is a finite amount, right?
Yeah, but there's like a bunch.
Yeah, I think it's like so many eggs.
I think that's just like pretty common, so I don't know why salmon are bragging about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying they drop it like they can drop up to 7,000 at once. Normally it's about 2,500, but
yeah,
they'll squirt them out between like up to 7 different little areas.
Yeah, I'm still not really impressed, I guess is my point.
How many eggs can you lay, Sean?
I can't lay any.
That's right. That's right.
That doesn't mean I have to be impressed just because they can, I don't know, open up their guts and just dump them all out. Like, that seems careless. I think the human way of doing it is better, one at a time, see what it takes.
I'm sorry, Sean. After you laid some eggs, if you died and couldn't take care of them, do you think it would be better to have up to 7,000 eggs as opposed to one egg?
Oh, I don't know, dog. What if, like, the species evolved so that as soon as you dump all your eggs, you don't die like a fucking idiot? What kind of tactic is that?
That's how they feed their young, man. All the nutrients in the water.
Yeah, so cannibals. So salmon are cannibals, basically. Actually, they force their children to be cannibals.
Yeah, babies don't know any better.
Yeah.
How could they? They don't have parents.
Yeah. And then the salmon go out in the world, and they learn that they ate their parents. Their parents' nutrients were where they were born, and real depressed, they go back. They're just so depressed, they go back to that same place, and then accidentally dump all their eggs and die immediately. What a dumb fish. What a dumb, stupid fish. I'm glad I eat them.
How often are you eating salmon?
As often as possible. I don't know.
Really? How do you like your salmon? You like a fillet? You like a steak?
Oh, what's the difference?
The cut. The fillet is like the side, and then the steak is like just like a little center cut, a little bone in the middle.
It's all fish. It tastes the same, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Like, what is the fish made of? Different things? Like, okay, who gives a shit? The whole thing. I don't care. First of all,
John,
sorry, no, you go on. I keep talking over you. Please continue. But I have a lot more questions for you. So,
as we established earlier, I don't eat fish.
Right, oh, right,
so
yeah.
I don't even know if you should eat the skin. And who knows? I don't. Who knows? Sorry.
I'm going to take a firm line. I think that you should eat the skin. And also, I think I lost my question. Oh, I think you said fish have bones or something. They don't, right?
Fish have bones for sure.
Do salmon?
Yeah. Yeah. They got a big bone running down the middle. I think it's the spine, and then a lot of pin bones. You got to pick out.
All right.
It's terrible. It's awful.
Yeah, I've gotten some of that in some fish before. You just I don't know, just take your time and chew your food, and you won't choke to death on a fish bone like a fucking moron. Not that if you know someone who's choked to death on a fish bone, I don't know, that's just kind of funny to me.
If you're choked to death, I'm sorry for your loss. If they've come close, they're a fucking idiot. So,
well, even if they did fully die.
I mean, I get Sean at Market Basket. People would always say that they like the wild salmon better because what we feed the farm raised and how better the other ones look. But I had to always tell them that they're different kinds of salmon, and that's why they look different and taste slightly different. Mm-hmm. And they would never believe me. Yeah. And so I would just cut their fish and then wrap it up and tell them to please leave.
Yeah. That sounds like any customer at a retail store, basically. Yeah. All of them terrible.
Yeah. They'd ask me how much sodium is in it, and I would say, well, they spend most of their lives in salt water, so I'm guessing it's pretty high. So I don't know. I'm not Google.
You don't have a degree in fish salinity?
I'm somebody who doesn't have a college education and can't get a better job. So please either buy this fish or walk away. I don't even know if you can eat all of this.
You need to do some research before you get here, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm real sorry, but you just stop at the library first. I can't help you.
Maybe what you're looking for is food that comes in a package that has all these facts listed out for you, and not something that some guy in a truck came and dropped off that was like flapping around about 3 hours ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
They just tell me where to cut it, and that's it.
I could tell you the kind of knife. Here's the knife I used. It doesn't look particularly salty.
Yeah. It doesn't smell very salty. I don't know. I assume fish was the base ingredient and you added salt. I don't know. I'm sure it's got sodium in it.
Yeah. People are dumb.
Yeah, I took this job because I'm real passionate about fish. You know? Jesus Christ.
Doing my thesis. Amount of salt and salmon. It's going to be a short paper.
Sean, have you ever been to one of those fisheries that you're so fond of? What did you call it?
Aquaculture?
Aquaculture?
Yeah. Aquaculture is not necessarily, one of these fisheries. That's just what it's called when we, are essentially doing ocean farming.
Oh, okay. They're farming from the ocean.
Yeah, it's like they'll put a big old pen, just like a big old net or something, and they keep them all in this little area, and they dump food in and stuff, and then after a certain amount of time, they'll take them out because they're big enough to eat.
Do they put the fish in the pen, but there's not fish, they're not wild fish. They're fish that they've farmed? Or are they farming these wild fish?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I
How's that
don't even really
different than
understand your
regular
question.
fishing?
So,
I guess what I'm saying is, how's that?
how do you farm a wild fish?
Well, what you described, I can't see the difference between that and regular fishing, except you trap the fish way before you're ready to pull it out of the water.
Well, no,
and you
like
feed
these,
it till it's
you
fat.
take the eggs out when you're cutting the fish up, and you, I guess, jerk off another fish onto the eggs, and you throw the eggs back in the water. I don't know.
Okay, so it started with a wild fish, and then they cultivated these eggs and they threw the eggs in.
Do you think regular farming didn't start with like a wild tomato? Like what? I don't.
I guess it's because they're farming them in the ocean and not like a giant tank or something that I just assumed.
Some of them probably use giant tanks too. I told you I don't fucking know. You look it up. I swear to God, if I Google aquaculture and I find this answer right away, I'm gonna be so mad at you.
You know, a lot of websites write about how fascinating it is that they go back to the freshwater at the end of their life and they lay eggs and die. Like a lot of websites are talking about.
Yeah,
it's almost like that's the main thing that salmon do.
Like the only interesting thing about them.
Yeah,
it's probably why they stick to it. You know, like it's the only thing they got going. Like an aging C-list actor. Like had one character.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that plays Paul Blart?
That's Kevin James.
James. Yeah.
I was gonna say leave Jim Varney alone, rest in peace. But yeah, I guess Kevin James is a better example of that.
Jim Varney rules first and foremost.
For sure.
And Kevin James sucks. Yeah. So salmon are the Kevin Jameses of the ocean is basically my thesis now. Yeah, so some aquaculture, they'll just have like a big circular net in the water, and they'll put fish in it, and then the fish are stuck there, and they'll feed the fish, and then they'll easily take them out, and some are inside in big facilities.
I've been to one that's like a big facility, but I don't know that it was salmon that they were fishing or farming.
Are you sure you haven't been to an aquarium? And you just don't understand what they were doing.
No, it was definitely a farm. They had turtles and sharks and eels. It was a big. No, but it's like a big concrete structure with lots of pools in there, and they randomly feed those fish. I swear, I've been to both. I've been to an aquarium and a fish farm.
All right. You know what? I haven't been to the Boston Aquarium in a long time. I should go there.
We'll go there. Okay, we'll go there. We'll talk about
I
it.
didn't say we.
I didn't say together. I just meant...
All right, yeah, good. I don't need you asking me a bunch of dumbass questions about aquaculture while we're there.
I wouldn't ask you the people stationed around there. You can ask questions.
Yeah, I think those people are there for, like, the school children that show up. I don't think...
And who's going to ask a dumber question, me or a school child? Okay?
You want to walk down this road right now? Is that...
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
You know that salmon are culturally important in some cultures, like Celtic mythology.
They're also important to a lot of Native Americans, right? Like in the Northwest.
That's not my heritage, though, so I wasn't going to bring it up.
Well, what's their significance in Celtic?
Oh, they're just they're associated with wisdom and venerability.
Mm-hmm,
There's a creature called the salmon of knowledge.
Oh.
So
what do they do?
Well, he grants the power of knowledge to whoever eats it.
Is that why you eat it so often?
That's how I'm so smart.
There's some other famous salmon out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Salmon rushdie. It's a fish.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Something about a fatwa.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that the joke? The name sounded the...
I was trying to think of another one.
Mm-hmm. You should do that before you say the first thing that comes to your mind. You should just go ahead and explore. See if there are any branches that come off. Just do that first.
Uh-huh. Do you feel connected to your heritage when you eat salmon, Sean?
No. I don't feel connected to my heritage ever. Bunch of people who didn't know how to shit in a toilet, just making up stories.
The Native Americans believe that salmon willingly give themselves up as food for humans.
Who says that?
Tribes of the Northwest Coast and Columbian River.
Kind of sounds like the victors are writing history there.
Well, does it make you feel better to know that they're myths and therefore they hold a special position of honor and respect, these fish? Or
You
no?
should ask the salmon if it makes them feel better.
They have a lot of tribal rules regarding salmon so as to avoid offending them. And the special salmon dances and first salmon ceremonies are celebrated at the beginning of salmon fishing season.
What are those dances like? Do they have... Is there a video?
There's no video on this website that looks like it was made in whatever is left over of GeoCities now.
Okay.
native-languages.org /legends-salmon.htm.
I trust it.
I mean, I could search for the dances, but I'd be worried I couldn't describe them, and they're all, encompassing beauty of salmon. This other website that looks like it was made with remnants of angel fire says salmon are called fry when emerging from their eggs. I guess when they're out of their eggs, they're not called fry anymore. I don't get it.
Yeah, they're salmon the whole time. That's a bullshit thing scientists do to protect their positions. Well, we have to name its different life stages.
Yeah, it's something so they can casually make you look like an idiot at parties. You say, "Oh, like a baby salmon." Like, I think you mean a fry.
How often does that happen to you?
I don't go to that.
And also, that sounds like you are going to
time.
really cool parties when you do go to one. Like, oh yeah, I was talking to these scientists about salmon, and they totally fucking humiliated me. What a bunch of assholes!
Classic scientist asshole trope.
Oh, let's see. Creamy butter, garlic butter.
You're just looking up recipes.
They're just there. They're just right there. It sounds pretty good, though. Just go ahead and open a new tab. I'll look at it after the podcast when we're done. But actually, I couldn't wait. Let's see. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, it's one of these goddamn food blogs that they tell you a personal story about the recipe.
Yeah.
Like anyone gives a shit. Just put show a picture and then the recipe.
We don't need your life story.
Yeah.
Okay. I know you got like a quota of how many words to fill, but tone it down. Sean, if cooked right, fish skin can bring a delightfully crispy dimension to a standard fillet.
Well, look at that. You're lucky we're not at a party. You'd be fucking embarrassed.
I knew you could eat some fish skin. The salmon, it just seems so thick and gross. Or if you're like me, you can just eat the skin along with the rest of the fish. No special preparation needed. It's all a matter of preference. I mean, when he says special preparation, he means other than cooking it, right?
Yeah. I
guess, I don't know.
I am a big fan of sushi, so it doesn't necessarily have to be cooked for me to want to eat fish. So,
all right. Live your life.
I know you don't eat sushi.
Eating raw fish.
Yeah, it's really good.
A lot of people love sushi. Okay, Sean. All right. Okay.
Why don't you? Why don't you? Is my question.
It's a texture thing, I think.
So here's one last thing on salmon. Okay, and it's not really, I guess, about salmon. It's just a complaint that I have, but that is most of the words that I say out loud. Black bears rely on salmon as food, and the leftovers that the bears leave behind are considered important nutrients for the Canadian forest. But if I go camping or something, and I'm out in the woods, and I'm throwing trash everywhere and just leaving all of my food all over the places, I'm an asshole.
Right.
What the hell?
Right. You need some more nutrient-dense food to leave there.
Why do bears get a pass?
Well, they also get to shit in the woods. You're not allowed to do that, all right?
I don't think so. So what you're saying?
The answer might be unclear.
What you've just described is like another privilege they get that I don't, though.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom wherever. Throw the trash wherever.
Yeah, it's bullshit, and it's government funded. This is what your taxes are going for, to protect bears from trash and shitting in the woods, and preventing you from doing the same thing.
And I'm sure there's some scientist out there on a grant who's like, oh wow, look how messy this bear eats. Oh, he's such a slob.
A little sloppy bear.
A little sloppy bear. I'm doing such good research. Yeah, I guess his sloppy eating habits could help the trees and soil and plants. Sure.
It's a guy who also composts, so he gets it. Food breaks down. And he's like, you know what? This bear's leaving this food everywhere. It's going to break down. It actually helps.
All right. We done with this?
Sure.
I'm not looking forward to the next segment either.
It's a great segment, okay? It's a great segment.
I don't think it's going to be this week, but...
Okay.
We'll see, I guess. We'll see.
Okay. Sean, I had you watch the trailer for a movie that's coming out soon called Dear Dictator.
Yeah.
Starring one of the great actors, Michael Caine.
Yeah.
One of the other great actors, Katie Holmes.
Is Katie Holmes in it?
Yeah, and one of the other great actors, Jason Biggs.
Was he the teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks great with a skimpy goatee.
Hold on, I'm not done. And one of the great actors, Seth Green.
I don't remember seeing him in this.
He's licking Katie Holmes' feet in this trailer.
I don't remember seeing Katie Holmes either.
She plays the mother of a teenager who writes letters to a British Caribbean dictator.
Yeah. Is this a comedy movie?
I don't know. I can't really tell. It's like someone saw Mean Girls and was like, yeah, but what if there was a dictator involved?
I mean, it's basically like Michael Caine cosplaying as like Castro.
He's basically cosplaying as what's his name that plays Borat. He's a great actor as well.
You're asking me for information about an actor, and I think you know that I checked out of popular culture when I was like 12, so you could find out from Google, I guess.
Now, how feasible is it that you get a letter to a dictator? Like, if I wrote a letter to Kim Jong-un, could I get it? Would he read it? Would the mail deliver it?
I don't know that he'd read it, but you could probably get it to him.
Where does the U.S. mail leave that if we don't trade with North Korea? If I write a letter,
You'd probably, I don't know, send it to South Korea. Maybe they'll get it to him. I'm not a mail guy. I don't.
Sean, when we started this podcast, we agreed you would know more about the mail.
We did not. No, we did not. I don't remember agreeing to that. So she writes letters to him as part of a high school class thing where you have to write a letter to a hero or something. Mm-hmm. And then they're like pen pals.
Yeah.
And then he has to escape his country. His regime is overthrown, so he comes to live with her.
Yeah. Yeah, and he teaches her how to be a rebel, even though rebels are the ones that ousted him from his position of power.
Well, I mean, I assume that he got his position of power by taking it from someone else.
Yeah.
So what did you want to... I would rather not do comedy trailers because they've already done the comedy.
Okay.
And what are we going to do? What do we do now? Does that make sense?
It does. But, I thought maybe we'd talk about, how realistic could this be,
But it's a movie.
What would you do if you wrote a dictator and they showed up at your house, Sean?
It's called the cops. It's a movie, Jeff. It's not necessarily... It doesn't have to be realistic. It has to obey its own internal set of rules. That's how we got Ghostbusters. Do you want Ghostbusters to go away because it's not realistic?
I'm saying, you can follow this movie's sets of rules, but apply it to your own life. You know what I mean?
And that's why I don't want to do comedies, because they're just going to do it to make the jokes, so it's not as important that...
What do you feel about the commentary this movie's trying to make, that dictators are basically like teenage girls?
Is that the point it's making, though?
I mean, they have a lot in common, They start writing back and forth. He sympathizes with her.
Yeah, that's the comedy aspect, though. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's... the idea in the film is that dictators aren't actually, they're making a joke. So it's like...
Wait, they're trying to say that dictators aren't actually like teenage girls?
Right, they're not trying to make that point at all. The point they're trying to make is this is a comedy film. It would be funny if he showed up and then she started doing all of these, dictator actions to rule her high school and get back at these mean girls.
And then she does.
Yeah.
And it works.
Does it?
And then he gets arrested, right?
Does it work? I don't think I see the cops showing up at his house, yeah. Or her house, I guess.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a house here.
Well, by that time the movie's probably already taken over that house,
He marries her mom.
How do you think Michael Caine did as a dictator, though, in this trailer?
I think he did very well with the check that they had to pay him to be in this film. I think he's very satisfied with his compensation compared to the amount of work he probably had to do. The two most active scenes I see from him are one when he grabs her from the park, which is kind of disturbing, to be I need your help, I'm a dictator, you're my only friend because we're pen pals. And then also when he lurches out of a closet at what appears to be her sister or maybe friend.
That's her mom. That's Katie Holmes.
I feel like it wasn't. I feel like I know what Katie Holmes looks like. It didn't look like Katie Holmes.
That is what Katie Holmes looks like.
Well, I'm looking through the trailer again right now, and we're going to see. We're going to see if that's Katie Holmes. Yeah, see, here's where he's trying on hiding outfits.
Yeah, I think that was a lot of work as well, probably. Oh. That was probably half a day of work.
That is Katie Holmes, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the next few frames are Michael Caine putting his entire hand over the lower part of her mouth. So just most of her face is obscured.
Yeah. So it was hard to see. It was hard to see her. That's what you're saying.
I guess I didn't... I don't know. I guess it's been a while since I've seen Katie Holmes. Wasn't she in that cult? Right? She married that cult leader?
Well, she married Tom Cruise, had a child. I don't know that she was ever a Scientologist, but I think she had to raise her children as Scientologists.
Yeah, look, if you're married to Tom Cruise, you're in a cult.
Yeah, that put her over the edge. It doesn't mean you're in a cult. You're cult adjacent. right?
I don't know, man. Like, she allowed her kids to be raised in this cult.
Yeah.
She participated in raising, like, publicity of this cult.
Sure.
Maybe not directly, but by marrying him.
Well, just like Michael Caine, I'm sure she cashed her checks.
I don't know. It goes the opposite direction, as far as I can tell, with Scientology. It's you pay them. That's how cults work. Do you think cults pay you to be in them? Because if that's the case, then sign me up.
I'll take 2 then.
Yeah. Yeah.
She, she lived her life. She made some corrections,
Yeah, she divorced him, right?
Yeah.
How do you... It feels like you were defending Scientology there for a bit, and I just want to clarify that Heads Up official stance is that Scientology is a cult, and probably a borderline dangerous terrorist organization. Thank you for your agreement, Stella.
Yeah, I have no arguments about it. I'm just saying, why you got to give Katie Holmes all the shit? You know what I mean?
Because she participated.
She's a victim of Scientology, and she got out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think marrying Tom Cruise. Well, I mean yeah, she is a victim, but it's not like I don't think she was forced to marry Tom Cruise.
I understand that Tom Cruise is a figurehead of a dangerous cult, but he's had such a career, and he's very charismatic. Okay, I mean, would I go out on a date with Tom Cruise? Maybe. You know what I mean? Would I get tricked into marrying him and having kids and raising them in Scientology? It could happen. I
don't think so, man.
No.
Have you ever seen any of his public appearances? Wasn't there a big famous thing about him jumping up and down on a couch?
Yeah, I mean, we all go through stuff sometimes.
That's fucking embarrassing.
It is. We all go through stuff sometimes, and yet here he is. He's still plugging away, still making fine films.
Is he? What's the last fine film he was in?
The second to the last Mission Impossible movie that was out.
All right, IMDb, show me Tom Cruise. I think it was probably Top Gun was the last good film he was in.
Wow, that's taking a hard line.
Thank you. He was in The Mummy. Remember the Mummy remake?
I do. I actually saw it. Did you? It was terrible.
Brendan Fraser all the way, man. See Tom Cruise. You know what I don't like about Tom Cruise, and I know I've derailed your trailer segment here, but just to attack Scientology through Katie Holmes.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Every movie Tom Cruise is in, when he runs so weird. He runs like chest first.
Yeah.
It's like he bends his spine so that his chest is first when he looks so weird.
But he does look like he's running extremely fast. Faster than I can run without sticking my chest out weirdly.
I just for a cult started by a science fiction author, you figure it could be a little bit better. It's just kind of bad characters and some faulty plot logic there.
Well, when was Dianetics written?
Probably the 60s.
It's probably the best religious text written in the 60s. Prove me wrong.
Okay, let's take a step back from attacking the cult that is Scientology, because they'll attack back. They use blackmail and stuff. They'll attack back because they're really concerned about what we're saying about them. How come John Travolta's not really pushing Scientology anymore? I don't know. How come John Travolta's not really in movies anymore? Because he was never a good actor. That's why.
Whoa. Travolta? He had some good movies, right?
Oh, yeah. Name one.
Saturday Night Fever.
I've never seen it.
Michael.
Never seen it.
Okay, I've got his IMDb up now. Face Off.
Okay, Face Off was good, but that's because of Nicolas Cage.
Old Dogs.
I want his face off. That's where they got the name of the movie, was from the screenplay. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy.
I love when that happens. You just never expect it. They write the screenplay and they're like, "Whoa, this line is so good. Let's make it the title."
You really feel that. Yeah. He's filming a movie right now called Moose, if that helps.
Who are we talking about again?
Travolta.
John Travolta. Let's see. Yeah, he was in Pulp Fiction. That was a bad movie.
I know you hate Tarantino.
I don't hate him. I'm disappointed that he's not a better filmmaker. If he was a better filmmaker, there would be more films that I could watch and enjoy, but he's not.
Storyline for Moose is a rabid film fan stalks his favorite action hero and destroys the star's life. Now, given that description, I cannot tell if John Travolta is the star or the fan.
That's yeah. I can guess he's not the star, but Broken Arrow, that was okay, right?
Yeah.
So
See,
they lose a nuke or two or something, and they gotta go find them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Be Cool. I haven't watched it since like it came out.
Never heard of it.
I enjoyed it.
Never heard of it. We got to get back to this trailer. We got to get.
I'm sorry.
Michael Caine. Does he belong to any cults?
Is he a knight? Is he Sir Michael Caine?
I don't know. That's a good question. Show me Michael Caine.
Do you consider being a knight being a part of a cult?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. It depends on what you have to do. It's more like an award. Mm-hmm. I guess you can turn it down, but I don't think it's like being in a cult.
Yeah. Well, if the queen calls upon you, do you have to do things?
They might actually pay you for being a knight. You might get to like draw a stipend from the crown.
You're really drawing a hard line. Like if they pay you, it's not a cult. What have you gotten into?
Look, if they pay you, it's not a cult. Because if they did, I was gonna say then you belong to a cult, but
Yeah, Sir Michael Caine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
I'm saying. I
don't think that's being a knight is not being in a cult.
I don't know. It's like a group of people. They invite you in. You know.
That's yep. That's all it takes for you. That's all it takes for you to be a cult. Someone has to invite you to a group.
Trying to figure it out. Yeah, I think I would say like if the Queen needed you to do something, I'm pretty sure Michael Caine is basically like if he's in the U.S. and the Queen's like, actually we're gonna fight the U.S. now, he'd have to like get a gun or something and start trying to overthrow the government. I think.
So it looks like he belongs to the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, which by the way is awesome. It's not just the Order of the British Empire. It's the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. It's an order of chivalry, rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and public service outside the civil service.
That sounds like Scientology to me.
It's not even a little bit. I don't see anything about responsibilities on this Wikipedia page, which I'm sure we'll know all of it.
Yeah, because it's a secret.
It's not a secret. This is just like a way for the government to be like, "Hey, good acting, Michael Caine. You were great in Batman."
What's the U.S. equivalent?
The Oscars. Did you see the Oscars, Jeff? They were.
Hey, we cut all that.
It was so good, though. Let's see. Anyway. Well, I can't find out if they're paid or not, and that's really... I want to know that. They're probably not, I would guess, but...
They probably get perks, you know what I mean?
Like really good parking spots at Buckingham Palace?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we done with this trailer? Was there more you wanted to say about it?
No.
Here's the thing. I like the idea. I think this is a good idea.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it looks like it's going to be very funny.
Yeah.
I don't know that Katie Holmes is a very good comedian.
Okay.
She might be. I mean, I figure if you escape a cult, you got to have a good sense of humor about it. But, I like the idea that, like, a fascist dictator is going to teach this teenage girl to hurt other people. Yeah. And then she's going to blithely go do it. And Jason Biggs isn't going to stop her because his entire career, he's just only acted as, like, I'm the weak guy. I can't stop anyone.
You know what's weird? He fucks a pie in this movie, too.
Well, I think that's just, like, that's in his contract. Not that he does it on camera, just that, there's a pie for him to fuck. And then the cameras happen to be rolling.
You can really tell all his characters, he has this background, and it's like, okay, so this guy fucked a pie once, right?
So he was, he was caught fucking a pie by his parents. And go on. Please tell me, what else about this character?
I just think that really informs a lot of the roles he's taking, you know?
Candy, no transitions.
Yeah.
This week, this time, we ate Crunch Bars. Mm-hmm. Did you eat a Crunch Bar?
I did.
What kind of Crunch Bar did you get?
Like the regular standard size Crunch. 230 calories per bar, 1.55 ounces.
Yeah.
Made with 100% real chocolate. Nestlé Crunch bar.
All right.
No artificial flavors or
All
colors.
right, yeah, we had the same one.
It's creamy milk chocolate with crisp rice.
Did yours break up into 4 individual pieces?
It did.
Yeah,
it
we
did.
had the same one this
time. What a time to be alive.
We had the same one this time. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, with the Jellybird eggs. I'm trying to find these regular Jellybird eggs because they sounded delicious.
It's too late. It's
No, just for my personal life.
I'll find some and mail them to you. I guess I could just drive them to you next time I see you, but...
Now, Shauna, it kind of makes me nervous when they have to have a big, like a third of the portion of the bar, say, made with 100% real chocolate. That makes me nervous.
Why?
Because why do they got to say it like that? I assumed it was chocolate. The ingredients are chocolate. What have they been trying to pull recently or in the past where they have to now correct it or hide the fact
Well,
that
they
they're
might
not
be
doing
just
it?
like slamming other candy bars for not being 100%.
A candy bar that won't kill you.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Like, what else? What other candy bar? What is Hershey's 100% chocolate?
Yeah, man, they're in the game.
Why doesn't it say it on the bar then?
Because they're one of the only American companies that makes better chocolate than Nestle. Because Nestle's chocolate is the worst.
I don't know about that, but
Go ahead.
I enjoyed the Crunch Bar.
Did you?
How'd you like yours?
I think it was okay. I like it. Not my favorite, but it's pretty good.
No.
It's pretty good. I like that on the back. It tells me that not to recycle this wrapper.
Yeah, that's just like really your speed.
It's like just throw it on the ground. Pretend you're a bear in the forest.
Don't rub it in. I don't. Let me see. Oh yeah. Mine also tells me not to recycle it, and then gives me a website how to number 2 recycle.info.
That's very helpful.
Is it? Let's see. How to.
So like that. That little thing says, thoughtful portion, 2 pieces, 115 calories. Like if you only eat half of it, it's only half the calories. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's
I get it.
pretty simple math there. If you wanted that to be, a thoughtful portion, why don't you sell it like that? Why don't you just sell 2 pieces together?
Yeah. I mean, the guy that's in charge of Nestle right now is famous for saying, people are so up in arms about the California drought because they believe water is a right.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, of course. Not everybody needs water to live, Jeff. Of course, we should sell all of our freshwater sources to corporations who definitely will take good care of it and share it.
Oh, sure. Because they also bottle water, so he's like, of course you sell water to people.
Yeah.
But you like the Crunch Bar. It's good. It's better than a Milky Way, obviously.
Yeah. I wouldn't put a Crunch Bar top of the shelf, but I'd definitely put it middle of the road.
I think that's where I'm at with this as well.
Yeah.
The chocolate I don't like because you can't. It doesn't really have. It doesn't taste that great.
I mean, that's not why I eat candy, though. I just want the sugar.
So that it tastes good.
I just want the sugar, and I mean, it's got a chocolate flavor, which is fine.
Yeah, it's definitely like it. They had to say 100% real chocolate because it just tastes like they've added chocolate flavoring to some sort of waxed based thing.
Yeah,
and they need the crisp rice in here to sell it because that's what makes it even any edible for me. Because if it was just like straight up Nestle's chocolate, I would just probably throw it in the garbage.
No, you probably wouldn't.
Depends what else I had.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's nothing else around, you'd eat it.
I mean, they also make Butterfingers, right? I like Butterfingers, but that's not all about the chocolate. There's only a thin layer of chocolate on the outside of that.
Right. Mm-hmm. What flavor is is that peanut butter in there?
I believe so.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It's never tasted like peanut butter to me, but
no.
I think because I grew up with the much superior Fifth Avenue bar.
You're really snobbing it up this episode, huh?
It's not. I'm not snobbing it up. It's the Fifth Avenue.
I ate Fifth Avenue bars.
I'm sorry. What are they? Are those known as like a hoity-toity candy bar?
When yeah, they don't. It's not a bright color, so it's not attracting children. So their market is more of a adult crowd, you know.
Yeah, a bunch of men in tuxedos, women in fancy cocktail dresses.
Yeah. You know, it's on Fifth Avenue, Sean. Bunch of fancy stores.
I'm sure.
High rise apartments.
Yep, down on Fifth Avenue. Yeah. So I see there's a lot as I Google through, which is basically what this podcast is now. Watch two adult men Google. Whoops. Sorry, you don't get to watch. You get to hear us do it. I see there's a lot of recipes for making your own Crunch bars at home, which is, I guess, a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm also seeing, where is it, a news story about how Nestlé Crunch bars may soon be a thing of the past. And this is from last June, 2017. The Swiss mega company Nestlé. This is from marketplace.org. The Swiss mega company Nestlé has announced it's looking for a buyer for its U.S. confectionery business.
Yeah, because it's got better things to do.
Yeah. Iconic candy brands such as Crunch, Butterfinger, and Nerds may soon be sold under a new label. So I guess it's not going away. It's just might just be different packaging. All right.
Yeah. Someone who might make better chocolate might start selling them.
Fuck, Jeff, I got clickbaited. God, I got clickbaited. God, put one up on the board. That's one for me. Oh, boy. I feel gross now. I gotta go take a shower.
It's time to erase and reinstall your computer.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a virus on it now. Just a little tally mark. Look at this dumbass.
All the ad blocking you've got set up, and you still got clickbaited.
Well, it's
You're a real piece of shit.
It's like you can't avoid it now. I blocked the ads, but the titles of the fucking articles are still like. It lured me in, and I'm
But you feel like a real piece of shit right now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I am man enough to admit it, so that's pretty great.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, good for you.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but
I did learn something new, not about Nestlé Crunch, while looking at Nestlé Crunch here.
Yeah, let's take another really long detour away from what we're talking. Please, yes, I like this format. A trailer with Michael Caine in it, and the next thing, Tom Cruise, noted cult member.
The Wikipedia entry for Nestlé Crunch is what is referred to as a stub article. It's deemed too short to provide encyclopedic coverage of a subject.
Let's see.
Nobody's writing about Nestlé Crunch. Nobody.
Wow, that is really short, though.
Yeah.
That's like 4 sentences and then a list of additional products.
Yeah. People of the internet, get out and fill up Nestlé Crunch's Wikipedia page. It's too short. There's no information on it.
We should start doing that. We should start doing calls to action towards the end of the podcast.
By next week, I want to see a 4-page Wikipedia entry for the Nestlé Crunch bar.
I don't want that. Limit yourselves. Good writing is about editing. Give us another paragraph or 2 in here, and that's it. You know what I would like to know?
What's that?
Were Nestlé Crunch bars shipped to soldiers overseas?
No, but I guess Nestle did make a lot of their money through canned milk during World War I because it was cheaper than fresh milk.
Yeah.
So they had to branch out after World War I because they went back to good milk.
Yeah, people didn't want milk out of a can. Who knew?
So it did really pump up Nestle.
Does it disturb you to learn, now that we've been doing this for a while, just how many candy companies seem to be involved in the war trade?
It does. It disturbs me. Yeah.
This is just one of those things that, like, when you do research and you find out a lot of this info, like, I would never, if someone had been like, "Hey, what do you think about candy companies being war profiteers?" I've been like, "That's not a thing. That can't be a thing." And then it's just
but
a couple Wikipedia clicks to be like, oh yeah, no, definitely. Like every major candy seller these days had an involvement in World War II.
Yeah, I feel like if you do that, you can't have fun, colorful commercials. You know what I mean? I feel like you gotta have it out there.
Yeah, Crunch Bars should all be about World War I people dying of gases in the trenches of.
You can't have when I was a child, Shaq selling me a Nestlé Crunch bar. If you're a war profiteer, you know, you can have a 4-star general with a ceremonial sword at his side, talking about how great Nestlé Crunch is.
Jeff, the commercial open.
Yeah.
World War I trenches, okay?
Yeah.
The shelling, constant shelling going on. You're hearing bombs dropping. There's men shouting and running everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
Camera pans down into the trench. There's a bunch of people there with gas masks on, okay? In a quiet moment, one of them takes his gas mask off. We can tell from the body posture of the other men who still have their gas masks on, we can tell how startled and shocked they are. Until this man pulls out a Crunch bar. He pulls it out of one of his little pockets, and he opens it up, and he starts crunching into it. Soon all the other guys are taking off their masks. They're sharing it. It's community. It's friendship. They're taking little bites. Boom. They are all gassed to death. They die. But it's worth it.
Yeah, the loud crunching has alerted the enemy to their foxhole.
And so we need a good tagline now.
Yeah.
It's something probably about the crunch if it alerts the enemy to gas this position.
Yeah. I don't know. Nestlé's Crunch, it's a gas? Is that,
no, it's too on the nose. And I think a little too obscure. I understand what you're doing with its gas, but that would maybe play in World War I, but the crunch that's irresistible. It's too broad. It's too broad. We'll do a series of ads like they do these days, where they tell a small story, right? Okay, so the Germans advance, right? They were the enemies in World War I guess. I don't know.
The Germans? Yeah, I think so.
Sure, yeah, sure. Whatever. The enemy advances, right? They get into this trench. What do they find? Half-eaten Crunch bars everywhere.
Oh,
gas masks coming off. Okay,
yeah.
Maybe they're German. Maybe they're a different nationality. I don't know. I don't care. They're eating this Crunch bar. They're having a good time. They start laughing, joking around. All of a sudden, boom! They all keel over. There's gas all over these opened up Crunch bars.
So, I mean, war is hell. So they see these half-eaten Crunch bars, and they're like, you know what? I'm in.
That's it. The tagline is war is hell. Relax with the Crunch bar. War is hell. Crunch into peace. Oh. And then so the second ad is we pan back up over the fields. Everyone's dead. The same thing happened all over the battlefield.
Yeah. The second they bite into this Crunch bar, they're transported. They're back at home. They're greeted as war heroes. Cut back. The crunching has alerted the enemy. Boom. Bombs. They're dead.
So more, you're
Crunch
going.
bar,
No,
take
no,
me
you.
back.
Oh, you know what we could do with that is we advance the timeline a little, right? Now it's the Cold War. What was that movie where the communists invaded some small Mideastern town?
Red Dawn?
Red Dawn. It's a Red Dawn situation, okay?
All right.
There's the Russians get to space first, and they're looking for a place to invade, right? They're going to drop down some cosmonauts.
Sure.
Some cosmonaut soldiers, maybe.
Yeah.
And they get their instruments up there, and then what's this noise they hear? It's a loud, satisfied crunch. They have to know where it's coming from. They locate it. Boom. Some small Midwestern town. It's all these war heroes. And their families. And their neighbors and friends. Everyone's there. Maybe it's a big parade. The mayor's up front waving his little baton, right, in the car. Does the mayor wave the baton?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
I don't go to a lot of post-World War I, or I guess mid-Cold War parades.
Sure. I mean, I can't think of one that I've been to.
But anyways, the loud crunching alerts these cosmonauts. They fly down in their spaceship, and they kill everyone for their Crunch bars.
Even the mayor?
Definitely the mayor. The mayor first.
Wow.
The baton is technically a weapon, okay? So he has to go.
You see the baton in slow motion hit the ground, followed by a delicious Crunch bar. Crunch bar is then picked up by these communists. They crunch into it as they fire their weapons.
Oh, no. Their commander says they have to share the Crunch bar equally, but even these communists know they want the whole thing to themselves. They fall into infighting. They're shooting each other. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
The Iron Curtain drops. Capitalism sweeps the nation and the world. Thanks, Nestle.
Thank you,
Canned
Nestle.
milk is still popular.
Canned milk, the market bursts again. I guess I don't have an end for that ad, but, as long as we're workshopping it.
Yeah.
A lot of focus on trench warfare for the Crunch bar.
Yeah.
And then a lot of focus on the Cold War for the Crunch bar. Okay, those are our 2 ads so far.
I like it.
In about a decade, you know what we could do?
What's that?
Crunch bars for ISIS.
Oh, shit. That's how you get them. That's how you get them to stop their foolish ways.
Yeah.
There's another thing I learned, according to this eHow article.
Can I just ask, you trying to stop me from instigating us being targets by, say, Scientology or ISIS?
No, I'm just tired of bringing up ISIS every episode.
Jeff, they're in the news a lot, okay? I know you don't read the news, but some of us do, so they're on my mind a lot.
Sean, I don't respect them enough to call them ISIS. I call them ISIL. Okay?
All right. ISIL, whatever. Do your thing, though. I'm tired about you bringing up eHow every episode. Let's go. Let's go.
This article claims that the chocolate chip cookie was basically invented in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
This lady was working on her butter drop dew cookies, only to find that she'd run out of powdered baking chocolate. So instead, she chopped up a Nestle's chocolate bar, mixed that in, and assumed that the heat from the oven would mix them together. And instead, she got a chocolate chip cookie. Everyone loved it.
Fucking real amateur moves here.
Yeah. It turned out to be a great cookie. But I kind of want to try a butter drop dew cookie now.
No, you probably just fuck it up and invent a new kind of cookie.
I can't wait. That's Ruth Wakefield, apparently.
Ruth Wakefield. Thanks, Ruth. That's been the Heads Up podcast with Jeff and Sean.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're not going to do that. Well, I'll do it again later. I just wanted to cut you off before you said more stuff about... Tired of you trying to associate all these candy companies with Nazi Germany. If you want to email us, it's headsuppod@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. You can also tweet at us or send us stuff on Instagram. Both of those are at headsuppod. So we're done? You don't have anything else?
No. I mean, that's it.
Jeff sells merchandise.
The podcast sells merchandise. Okay, I've roped you into it. You're technically selling merchandise.
I'm not.
I mean, you're not doing a good job of it. Yeah, I mean,
that's correct.
Your enthusiasm is terrible.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't think it's things anyone would want to buy, but
doesn't have to be.
I've been fooled before, so
yeah. I just wanted us to have merchandise. Okay. Whether it sells or not.
So how do people get to it then? You should do a better job selling it too.
You're in charge of the end credits.
But I don't know how people get to. All right, I guess we're not doing it then because I don't know how people get to it.
It's headsup.threadless.com.
.threadless.com.
Mm-hmm. Get your very own Heads Up phone case to go with your Heads Up t-shirt and hoodie.
All right. That's enough. They know where to go. They can go look for it if they want.
Go check it out yourself. Go look at it. Give me feedback, and I'll change it. Or I'll just be insulted and not change it.
That's more likely.
Cry.
All right, this has been the Heads Up podcast with Jeff and Sean. My name is Sean.
My name is Jeff.
And we're popping off.
Toodles.
Yeah, you really fucking spanked me on this one.
My fitted sheets have tags that say top or bottom or side, so I know which direction I'm going.
like, you don't even care that I am a great dungeon master.